Hello, I'm Alan Sklover, and this is Sklover Working Wisdom, the blog site that's dedicated to your empowerment in navigating and negotiating for yourself at work. This is our video number 14 entitled, Accused of Wrongdoing at Work? Here's 21 guidelines for responding. I've been assisting employees worldwide in matters of their employment for all these years, and I will tell you, it seems to me that never before have there been so many people accused of different kinds of wrongdoing at work. I don't know if there are just more rules to follow. I don't know if there's actually just more misbehavior going on. It may also be a reflection of what some people call a zero tolerance standard at work for all sorts of behaviors that used to be acceptable. Whatever the reason, more and more of our clients are coming to us saying, I've been accused of some kind of wrongdoing. What do I do? This video is intended to assist you in responding to an allegation of wrongdoing at work. You know, being accused of wrongdoing at work in some ways is worse than being arrested. If you are arrested for wrongdoing, you are entitled to an attorney. You're not usually entitled to an attorney in your office if you're accused of something. If you've been arrested, you're entitled by law to something called due process, which really means basic fairness. There's no requirement that you be given basic fairness at work. And probably the best thing about being arrested is that you have a chance of being declared innocent. Well, that doesn't happen if you're accused of things at work. Rarely is there a finding of innocence. So the lesson is this. If you're accused of wrongdoing at work, you've got to be very, very careful about how to respond. Here's 21 guidelines for you. Now, I will not be going through each of them in depth because we do not have the time for that, but they are going all over in depth in our newsletter, which you can read on our blog site, again, skloverworkingwisdom.com. Let's start going through the guidelines together. First, limit or do not act in any emotional way. Limit your emotions. Emotions never help a difficult situation. Number 2, listen carefully to everything that you're told that either you've done wrong or you're claimed to have done wrong. Sometimes 1 or 2 words can make a big difference in what exactly the accusation is and your ability to defend yourself. Third, if you can, take notes. Taking notes is a way of recording information that really you might not remember later on, because when you're confronted with an allegation of wrongdoing, people get very nervous. Fourth, ask your employer or HR if you're attending a meeting, whether or not the meeting is being either audio taped or videotaped. Fifth, ask whether or not you can have some delay to compose yourself and to figure out how is the best way to respond, or alternatively, will you be deemed fired if you don't immediately respond? Sixth, don't forget to ask with specificity, who is the accuser and what is the accusation? You'd be surprised how often employers will not tell you these things and give you really no good chance to defend yourself. Seventh, most employers have policies which give you some basic fairness, some process that should be followed. Ask for a copy of any policies having to do with disciplinary matters or allegations of wrongdoing, and ask to be given an opportunity to review them. Eighth, perhaps most importantly, if anything you've been accused of may be criminal in nature, ask you be given an opportunity to see an experienced criminal defense lawyer. Matters at work that are criminal in nature usually involve either some kind of theft, some kind of touching of another person, or third, possessing either an illegal substance, a firearm, or something like that. Ninth, Don't seek comfort and don't ask for assistance from colleagues. It puts them in a very, very difficult situation, and it's rarely helpful. 10th, don't sign, don't admit, or don't commit to anything. 11, don't be afraid to ask for a recess, especially if you feel that your stomach, your chest, or perhaps if you have a bad headache. Don't be afraid to ask that you come back another day if you're not feeling well. That's a totally justifiable reason to exit the premises. 12th, ask whether or not you're entitled to have an attorney sit with you in any such meeting. Most employers don't permit it, but still ask. Number 13, no matter what, you should obtain a consultation with an experienced employment attorney to give you some guidance in dealing with the accusation. 14, whatever you do, don't tamper with evidence. Don't tamper with witnesses. Sure, you might want to gather emails or other evidence which might tend to show that you have not engaged in wrongdoing, but don't try to manipulate any evidence or people. Number 15, whatever you do, bear in mind that a written response is one of the best responses that you can do. That is, put together on your own time when you go home some sort of written response. 16, understand that everyone does it is not a defense. Don't try to say, well, everyone does the same thing. Going 90 miles an hour, even if everyone else is going 90 miles an hour, doesn't mean you don't deserve a speeding ticket. Don't be afraid also to call things as you see them. I know sometimes you don't want to appear to be accusing others, but if something is true, just call it as you see it. Don't be afraid of the truth. 18, don't be afraid also to propose some sort of resolution, perhaps a resignation that's done in confidence. 19, if you do believe you have not engaged in any wrongdoing, don't be afraid to insist that your employer give you what we call a finding of innocence, or a finding that you did not, in fact, do what you're accused of. Number 20, bear in mind the employer's interest and perspective. You have your own interest and your own perspective, but understanding the other person's interest and perspective is really essential to doing well in this process. And last but not least, number 21, do things to reduce your stress. Whether or not it's exercise, prayer, meditation, or whatever, do some things to reduce stress because this is a highly stressful situation. We offer on our blog site also 2 model letters that you can obtain if you wish. One is for handling allegations of harassment, hostility, or discrimination. We find those are the 3 most common quote-unquote wrongdoing or misbehavior that people are accused of at work. We also have a model letter which assists you in responding to allegations which handle other matters such as insubordination, absenteeism, or exceeding authority. This video and the other videos on our blog site are here to help you navigate and negotiate problems and opportunities at work. On our blog site, we also have our newsletter library, questions and answers. Without charge, you can submit questions and I'll try to answer them for you. And there are other resources to help you deal more effectively and successfully at work. I'm Alan Sklover. This is SkloverWorkingWisdom.com, the blog site. Thanks for viewing.